We let everybody in?
I'm letting everybody in.
Yeah, we have a good group.
Good morning. Everyone ready to roll? Come on, you see some teeth up in here. Heck yeah. Look, David's smiling. I saw him. He's smiling. All right, let me let everybody in here. Andy's finishing up. Oh, let me let everyone in here. You. All right. Everyone ready to learn some? You guys got a pen and piece of paper? I see some people in their cars, so you better get your voice to text saved. Look at Irina. She's ready to roll. She said, I am ready 1000%. All right, hang on. On here.
But how about that? Is that cool? Yeah. Okay. You guys put that together in a week.
All right, I see Billy in here. He's looking serious this morning. He's ready to put in some work.
Vision board.
All right, guys, we got everyone coming in here. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Maria Kirby. Billy and I have worked together. I work here with Andy. So I kind of help on the back end with making sure everyone stays connected and coordinating with Billy. We're going to get rocking and rolling here. Andy's coming in now.
Total recreation, baby. What's up, guys? How we doing? Men and women, all the beautiful roofers in the country. Bryce looking good. Bryce, you eating tater tots? Bro, you guys better be
oranges.
Come on, man.
Oranges.
What are you eating? Oranges? Okay.
Oranges, baby.
Don't look like an orange from here. It looks like a tater tot, Billy. You know what I'm saying? Irina's like, that's a tater tot. I've seen Sonic tater tots. That's a tater tot.
I wish it was a tater tot.
No, I'm just kidding, man. Hey, real quick, Billy, let's just check it out. Anybody else need to be on here? Are we good? I know we'll record the call, right? So if somebody didn't make it, we can send it to them. Let's just check this out real quick. If anybody else needs to jump on, we can wait a minute. I know me and Billy decided there's a couple things we're going to talk about. I heard a big, beautiful old hailstorm came through. Did that happen, David? That happened? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I want everybody to do me a favor. Grab pen, grab a piece of paper. What I want you to do is I want you to write down a number. This is between you and you. I want you to write down a number. How many contracts, how many agreements have you inked up in the last 30 days? And how many of them fell off? That's all I want to know. How many of them fell off? Okay. So Bryce, this is an important number to know. And I'm going to tell you why. I know a lot of people that count their income. You know what I count? Lost sales. There's no greater expense than the loss of a deal. Would everybody agree? Cammie, what do you think? Yeah. No greater expense than the loss of a deal. You know what will pay that house off real fast? Stop losing deals. You know how we're going to stop losing deals? We're going to start firming up agreements. Okay. We're going to start firming up agreements. You know what that means? We're going to talk to a homeowner about doing business with us. I want to hear how we're articulating our words. So when that homeowner says, yes, we'll get this handled, and then they get that insurance check in their hand, if they're continuing to shop, or if you don't get that check, don't you think there was some miscommunication there, or somebody didn't do a good job, or they just inked up a bullshit contract for a second? Does everybody agree with that? Yes or no? Raise your hand. Hey, by the way, would you guys agree there's a lot of killers running around going behind you guys? When you go into a house and you ink up a deal, guys right behind you, and he says, hey man, a lot of amateurs in the area. Might as well let me take a look at it. Might be able to save you money before you get the insurance check and hand that sucker over. If there's ever a chance to save some dough, it's going to be right now. That wouldn't upset you, would it? No? All right, cool. My name's Andy Elliott with the local roofing company. Those guys down there at ABC Roofing? Yeah. Commonly, we take them out. They're amateurs. They're new in the business, kind of fly by night. I don't know if you ever heard of a business called Fly By Night. They come in and go out. Yeah, we've been in the area for 40 years. So I'm glad that we sat down. You showed me who you're using. Let's go ahead and get you set up with a professional and do this right. Oh, snap. That old check ain't coming. But you go home to the wifey. You're like, baby, I locked up 3 deals today. He's like, where's the money? You're like, I don't know, man. It ain't coming. Because it ain't coming. Because you didn't do it right. Everybody feel me on this? Yes or no? You guys feel me? We're all on the same page. Okay, so our goal is, David, last time we were together, we talked about how to be a master communicator. Okay, now listen to me. Hey, guys, I want everybody to do me a favor on this call, men and women. I say guys a lot, so it just means everybody. Okay, I want everybody to be open-minded. Can everybody do that? Raphael, I don't want you to be me. Okay, I don't want you to be me. Okay. What I do want you to know is that you can have everything in your life, everything you want in your life and more, and you can ensure that you never have to have a canceled contract again, and you can get every check if we can just change a couple things. Maybe there's one thing you guys could learn on this call that could change everything. Okay. 2 things I want to talk about on the call. So let's just set the standard for the whole call. Number 1, when we ink a deal, making sure we get the insurance check. That's number 1. Okay. We're going to talk about firming these deals up so they don't go anywhere else. Number 2, we're going to talk about price objections. Got one cheaper. A lot of guys running around trying to undercut everybody. Would everybody agree? Yep. John, you seen him around right now? Running around. Hey, I can do that cheaper. I bet you can. You guys want a cheap roof? Nope. Well, it sounds like that's what you want. Okay. So guess what? We're going to talk about some word tracks. I want you guys to write down word play, the way you play your words. It will determine what you get and what you don't get. So our goal today is there's no greater cost to a salesman than the loss of the deal. If I go into a home, I literally sit down with the homeowner. I met the insurance provider at the house. I've got everything done. I've put all my efforts and work out there. Shouldn't I get paid? Yeah. Some of you aren't. Our goal today is to prevent that from happening and be like Alcatraz, no one escapes. So is Billy with us? Billy, where you at? Billy, anything you want to say before we start?
Yeah, no, you're spot on for, keeping this call where we wanted to keep it. I sent out a little preface video to you and to the group. So, but yeah, man, just, I know it's 12 o'clock on a Thursday. Guys, there's no better time than just lock in. Obviously, I'm very grateful for everybody's time. Andy and I have spent a lot of time deep diving on my weaknesses, where we've gotten this company to and where we want to go are 2 totally different things. So trying to help everybody, create the life that they want. And what we've kind of narrowed that down to where Andy's able, obviously when it comes down to practice, repetition, word tracks, 2 very intentional things. As we segue in, Andy, I believe, is the premier leader, I think, in the world right now. To create that fire in you guys, that there is a better way, and there is more out there by skilling up. It's not just talk. There is specific things you can say, the way you talk, the way you walk, and not just relying on a beautiful business that we're in, chance, luck. I can speak for a lot of us. That's why we got into this industry. But at the end of the day, we see some people come in after us into this company and kick our ass. I'm not going to drop any names, but hopefully that fires you up. And that's what we want to do today. But the 2 focal points are exactly what Andy's already gotten to: price versus cost. Cammie, Summer, David, and I have spent a lot of time in the last few weeks analyzing simple data, no opinions. The amount of deals we're losing because of 500, 1,000, you guys are losing out to these bogus ass roofers. And then the amount of prospects, to Andy's point, where you guys, some of you have 2, 3, 4, some of you guys have tarped these houses 2 and 3 times, and insurance money is showing up, and you don't even know that you lost the deal until you drive by and see that there's already a brand new roof on the house. Like, that is utterly embarrassing. And I think firming up these deals, the good news is the opportunity is relentless with, the Sky Diamonds that have been offered, the amount of opportunity that are coming because of the commitment to the brand from David, the investments. When these storms, and newsflash, guys, it's only the first month of storm season. Record hail, record opportunity for all of you. And I just don't think, whatever, the goal is to get that fire lit under you, that there is a better way. To his point, he started the meeting already off. So I just want to leave it there. I'm going to turn it over to him. But guys, we're so grateful. This guy is if you don't follow him, you're crazy. But you can change your life, and that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, so Billy's super loving, guys. As you can tell, Billy's an Andy fan. So I just want to tell some of you guys like, Billy, come on, man, get off Andy. Hey, let me tell you guys something real quick. Everybody needs a coach in life. Can I tell you this again? Everybody needs a coach in life. I promise you. You want a better marriage? Go find somebody who's got a crazy good marriage. Learn from them. Okay, you want to be a better parent? Go find somebody that's a really good parent. Learn from them. You want to get in great shape? I got a trainer in the gym. I was in good shape already. Okay. There's a guy named Patrick Bet-David. He lives in Florida. He's a business person. You may know who he is. Patrick Bet-David runs Valuetainment on YouTube, right? David, I paid him over 500 grand the last 4 years to have him train me. Why? Because it's made me 500 million. Come on, man. It's like, dude, why wouldn't I learn from anybody that knows something that I don't know? And those that stay a student of the game end up winning. By the way, I want to say one thing before we move forward. You guys want to have a fulfilled life, be the best in the world, run on fire? I'm going to tell you how to do it. You want to never burn out? Have progress in your life every day. This is the secret. David, every day that you have progress in your life, you love life. Any day that I don't grow, I feel dead. Okay, so on this call today, our goal is to work on communication skills. All right, so here we go. So let's talk about point number one. Okay, so when we're going to make a deal with somebody and we're at their home, everybody grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. Unless you're driving, I want you to just write down, I want you to write down pain points. Okay, we're going to walk through the process and we're going to talk about how we can do the process better. Okay, so number one, our goal is to get a contract signed. Am I right? Our goal is to get an agreement that ensures that we get the work for our efforts. Would everybody agree? So write that down. We want to ensure that we get an agreement so that we can get the work for our efforts. Do you guys have to do a lot of effort to get that check? Yes or no? Yeah, it ain't a 30-second phone call, guys. You guys know the amount of effort. Listen to me. You're being disrespectful to your own time, your client's time, and your family if you're not listening right now. Okay, so number one, our goal is to get a signed contract. Number two, our goal is to get an agreement that ensures that we get to work for our efforts. Okay, number three, our goal is to talk to the insurance, sign up the homeowner, and then go over the work that's going to be done. Isn't that pretty much what a roofer does? Yes or no? Right, Dean? Is that right? Yeah. Ideally, maybe some situations are different, but ideally, that's it. Okay, so now you guys know your job. Customer gets the check. What happens? What happens, Dean? They don't always give it to us, do they? Now, Dean, you got to unmute for a minute. I want to talk to you for just a quick second. Here, hold on. We're good. Are you driving, Dean? Don't be driving.
No, I'm parked up now.
Okay, good.
I'm taking notes on my phone.
Okay, good. All right, Dean. So
I've been pretty lucky with that for the most part. Yeah, you got to keep communication with them, let them know what the process is.
Yeah, so you may be one of the people that are in the stats and in the data that get the check every time. Because I don't know your numbers because I can't see them. But I know if you ink 60 deals and you get 60 checks, I know we're not talking to you. But I think, Dean, right, we would agree that in the company, there is some holes that are happening with some people, or else we wouldn't be having this conversation. Would you agree?
Yeah. Okay,
Dean. So number one, everybody understand this. We're going to talk about the original conversation that we're having with the client the first day that we're having it. Okay, who should educate the client on what's going on?
You
guys are. Guys, can I tell you something? You're either going to do this one or two ways. Everybody get ready. Ready? Number one, you're going to run in, you're going to pitch them on getting a roof, you're going to ink a deal, you're not going to educate them enough, and then the insurance company, they're going to educate them and scare the shit out of them, and they're going to tell them that you're roofer, you're with the wrong guy. You need to go shop 3 other places. I promise you there's a better deal out there. I think those people are taking advantage of you. Or you're going to tell them from the beginning that, listen, number one, Dean, my name's Andy Elliott. I'm here with the local roofing company. I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this for a long time. There's a lot of amateurs in the area. I'm a professional. It's my job to tell you exactly how this is going to go down. Dean, it's my job to tell you exactly how this is going to go down. I'm going to tell the customer, I'm going to brainwash them, that I'm going to tell them exactly how this is going to go down. You ready? We're going to go down A to Z. Now, Dean, we're going to grab a pen and piece of paper. Everybody listen up. I'm not talking to Dean anymore. I'm going A to Z. What am I going to do? Dean, this is how this goes down. Dean, do you have a piece of paper in the house? If not, I've got a spiral notebook in my hand. We're good. Dean, we're going to sit down together. Today, I'm going to get some measurements on the home. I'm going to do some things that I need to do, or I'm going to meet the insurance company out when they come out. That way, because listen to me, Dean, I want to explain something to you. Do you know what your insurance company wants you to do, Dean? They want you to chase the cheapest roofer. They want you to chase the cheapest roofing company. They want you to chase the cheapest roof. You know why, Dean? They don't own your home, do they? No, Dean,
No.
You've been paying a premium every single month. So that means now they have to pay out. And they don't like paying out. So do you think they want to pay out for a premium roof or pay out for a cheaper roof that's going to cost them less? Which one, Dean?
Cheaper roof.
Cheaper
Pay-
roof. So Dean, when we get your insurance company involved, you're going to hear your person you're dealing with on the insurance side say, I think you need to get a couple more estimates. I think you need to get a better deal. I think there's cheaper roofs out there. They're going to tell you this. And Dean, I want you to understand this, that there are roofers that will do it cheaper because they use cheaper materials and they don't do quality jobs. Dean, I want to tell you a story real quick. I drive an Audi. My wife drives a Range Rover. My wife got into an accident in her Range Rover. It has 13,000 miles. It's a beautiful Range Rover, just like you have a beautiful house. When we call the insurance company, and I have it in the Range Rover body shop, there was an estimate that came across to get a quality job done right and to have it done by the Range Rover company. Do you know what the insurance company told me? Hey, take it over here to ABC Body Shop. They'll do it cheaper. No, thanks. I'm getting it done at the Range Rover shop. I pay my premium. This is the company that I've chose to use, and this is the one I'm going to use. You know what's funny? I had a buddy of mine. He drives a Range Rover. You know what happened? He got into an accident. You know what happened? They told him to take it down to ABC Body Shop. And then later on, he ended up paying for it because they didn't do a very good job. But the insurance company was off the hook for the liability because the check was cut and it was over. The insurance company's job is to try to get you to find someone to do it cheaper. Now, I'm going to ask you one question, Dean. Your job with me today is to ensure that you know what the deductible is going to cost if your insurance company is involved. And if you can pay the deductible, no matter what the roof costs, if I can ensure that you get a quality roof, it gets done right, and you'll never have a concern, are you going to be a happy customer? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, Dean, regardless of what your insurance company says, as long as you don't have to pay more than your deductible, I will make sure that they have to pay for the roof they have to pay for. If it's $200,000, if it's $2 million, I'll make sure that they pay for the roof that your family and you deserve. Is that fair?
Yes.
Now, Dean, if they try to talk you out of it, what are you going to say? Are you going to say, oh yeah, let me do some more shopping around? Are you going to say, hey, I made a gentleman's agreement with Andy Elliott at ABC Roofing, and they're the people that I'm going to use, and that's who I'm happy with. Cut the check. I'm ready to put my roof on. I've had enough stress in my life going through this hurricane, going through this hailstorm. We're ready to get this fixed and move on. I pay a premium. I pay my monthly premium. I found a company I want to use. I'm happy with the company I want to use. Thank you very much. Billy's going to be my agent. Can you do that for me, Dean?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Dean, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think that we're having this conversation with people, or do you think it looks like this? Hey, Dean, what's going on, man? Hey, thanks for giving me your time. By the way, I'm going to put a new roof on your place. I'm going to do the measurements, right? These insurance companies, they're going to come out, they're going to measure it. We're going to measure it. We're going to decide on what that's going to cost. We're going to get it done. I'm going to go ahead and take care of it. I'm going to do a quality job. We're going to be good. Let's go ahead and take this together. ... Ink this up, sign this little piece of paper right here. Cool. I go meet the insurance guy. He meets me out there. We look at it together. And he's like, yep, this is what it's going to be. You're like, yep, that looks like that's what it's going to be. And then guess what happens? The old check comes in the mail. And you know what the insurance guy did behind the scenes? Everybody write down behind the scenes. The insurance guy isn't going to talk crap to your face. You know what he's going to do? He's going to do his job, and he's going to snake his way into the client's mind behind your back. And he's going to say, man, dude, I would definitely tell you if you hadn't gotten at least 3 to 5 estimates, okay, at least 3 to 5 estimates, I would tell you that you're not doing business with the right person. Don't get taken advantage of. Don't get taken advantage of. Dude, the insurance company will take advantage of you because they want to write a lesser check. Remember this. At the end of the day, I'm going to give you the roof that you and your family deserve that's going to bring your house a premium dollar. Look, a roof is what decides what an entire property is worth. Cheap roof, cheap house. Great roof, great house, great value. Look, guys, I can tell you right now, Mrs. Johnson, 2 years ago, she put a cheaper roof on her home and she called me back and just paid for a quality one out of her pocket. Insurance companies will always want you to chase the cheapest roofer. Now, do you like cheap stuff? You like cheap cars? You like cheap clothes? You like cheap body work? No, you want to deal with quality, and that's who I am. By the way, can I say this? You can earn the right. Everybody, earn the right is a very big statement for me, because I've never been able to get anything if I hadn't earned the right to ask for it. You can earn the right to have a conversation like this, a very direct conversation with somebody. And by the way, Dean, can I go over like how I'm doing this? So I'm like writing this down, Dean, because I believe in a seated position, everything that's written will be retained. Does that make sense? I'm like, Dean, so today, this is what we're going to do. Well, I'm going to have you sign this agreement. I'm going to go ahead and take care of some stuff with your insurance company. I'm going to meet them back out here. That way you have somebody that understands what you want. We've already spoke with what you want. We just need to make sure the insurance company is going to cut the check. Does that make sense? Okay, now listen, these insurance people, they don't care. By the way, Dean, do you know your insurance company? You know Nancy down at State Farm? Do you know her personally? Do you talk to her all the time? She a great friend of yours? No, but they're nice when you call because you pay them a monthly premium. Am I right?
Right.
Nancy don't live in your house at State Farm. Dean the freaking adjuster don't live in your house. You know who lives in your house, Dean? You. And as me being here right now, Dean, the only person that matters, that's important and that's significant to me is you, Dean. It's not money. There's two things that I want to accomplish today, Dean. Number one, that we understand what you're going to be paying out of pocket. Is that fair, Dean? And that important to you too?
Yes.
And then number two, that all the other money that's going to be paid out of pocket, whether it's a little or a lot, it really doesn't matter. That we get the premium roof for your home, and it's a time that we can take an opportunity to get a very expensive roof for a lot of premium that you've been paying for and get it done right, but we got one shot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, when I meet the insurance adjuster out here, I'm going to ensure that they give you that premium roof that we talk about. Now, if I do all this, I just need one thing from you. Dean, I need you to ensure that I'll get the work if I spend all this time and ensure that you get the best roof and that I take care of you and make sure it's done properly. Dean, as a gentleman's agreement, which I know a word doesn't mean anything to anymore, but just meeting you for a little bit and talking to you, I can tell that you're a man of your word. If I take care of all this, can you give me a handshake and ensure that I have your word that I'll get the work for the efforts that I've done and I'll take care of it and I'll make sure I give you my word that I'll do it right. Is that fair, Dean?
It is.
Guys, can we do this? Billy, what would life look like if every person had the courage? Everybody write that down, courage. Hey, you know what? Underneath courage, you know what I want you to write down too? Don't be scared. You scared. A lot of you guys are scared. You get in front of people, all of a sudden, you know your job, but you know why you're not making millions? Because you're scared.
Andy, can I add something to that real quick?
Yeah. And by the way, guys, if I'm talking to anybody and I'm off, somebody can unmute and say, hey, Andy, that ain't how this works. But I'm just
no, I think you're spot on. And I want you to take a minute. Obviously I talk a lot of car guy lingo. That's where I came from. That's where I cut my teeth. We got a couple guys that have been in that avenue. And I truly believe that it's significantly harder in that world. So Andy, talk about, you just brought it up, but dive into the reason why when you're out there and you see what it doesn't matter what you're selling and how costly it is. These minimum, what is it, more just laziness? Is it because they don't believe in what they're saying? Why don't people, as you just articulated it, obviously you're firming up these deals. Are they, you just said scared. Is it fear? Are they scared of the no? Talk about why being scared of the no.
Well, so listen, so I want you guys to understand something real quick. Okay. And by the way, I'm going to explain this to you, then I'm going to go back to your deal. Okay. In my company, I've got two types of people. I've got the people that count how much money they're making and the revenue we're making. And then I've got people that count the revenue we're missing and the deals we're missing. Listen to me. I know a lot of people right now, Billy, that are making 500 grand a year selling roofs. They're making 100 grand or they're making it 2 million, whatever, wherever you're at. If you're on the lower end, and I'm just going to give an example, if you're the best in the world and you're on this call, then clearly this is all just a bonus and you're the best. So it's not a big deal. But if you believe And by the way, when I said there's no greater cost than the loss of a sale, listen, is anybody else like me, like Bryce? When you don't get the insurance check and you did all the work, like, doesn't that like eat you
Oh, it keeps me
alive?
up all night. It keeps me up all
Dude,
night.
It pisses me off. So what we
Yeah.
can do on this call is decide to either keep getting pissed off or change. And when I say don't be scared, you know what I've learned is that a lot of people, they're crowd pleasers and they don't call their own shots. And I want you to understand something, that people like it when you're talking to them, when you sound like you're the authority, when you sound like you've been in their shoes and you know what's going to happen. And that's why I'm going to do the educating. By the way, watch, let me keep going. Bryce, not only is the insurance company going to tell you to look for a different roofing company because they want you to find a cheaper one and chase the cheapest company, which after they give you the check and you sign the liability over, you're stuck with that company. You're stuck with that roof. They don't care. They're not going to write you. And by the way, you know what I've seen, Bryce? A cheaper insurance company comes in cheaper because they use cheaper parts, cheaper materials, cheaper stuff. And then when the insurance company writes the check and you put that roof on and it was cheaper, there was no benefit to you. You didn't get anything extra. And you know what happens? 2 years later, everything starts breaking. Everything else starts falling apart. Big windstorm comes through. Roof starts going crazy. You know what happens? The insurance company doesn't back any of the work they did. Or my bad, the roofing company doesn't back any of the work they did because they put in cheap stuff. The insurance company says, I'm sorry, you choose the roofing company. That had nothing to do with us. Bull crap. You told me to chase someone cheaper. And they say, well, that was all your choice. Our job was to write the check. Listen to me. So we ensure that you never get taken advantage of and you get exactly what you're paying for. The only way I can do that is to ensure that our agreement right now stands, and I'll do my job and you do yours. When your insurance company tries to tell you to shop cheaper, say, nope, I found Billy. He's my man. Let's get this roof put on. Now listen, secondly, Bryce, what are you going to do the second the check comes in the mail? We're going to role play right now. Okay.
All right.
Watch it. See this piece of paper? It comes in the mail. I open it. What are we going to do?
Heading over. I'll be there shortly. Great
You're
news.
going to call me 911. Bryce, I've got to hook up with these roofing, with our roofing company, and I'm going to push you and your family to the front of the line. Bryce, guys, you want to firm it up? Do this. Most of the time when someone gets the check, they still have a very long period to wait, especially with this massive hailstorm. But Bryce, getting to know you, getting to see your beautiful wife, Jennifer, and your 3 kids in the picture, Andy, Jacqueline, and Sophia, because I know their names, because I wrote them down, because this still means something to me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, getting to meet them, I'm going to make sure I push you guys to the front. And by the way, hey, Bryce, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to give you my personal cell phone, not the business line. I'm going to give you the one my wife calls me on. Bryce, starting from this day forward, me and you are family, brother. I am going to be your roof guy for life. That roof's got a 30-year warranty on it, man. You need something, you're going to call me in the next 30 years. Is that fair? Talk about
Sounds great.
Long-term relationship. Done. You're my dude. Okay, now listen, what else am I going to say? Hey, Bryce, also, I got to say something else, man. So there's these amateur roofing companies, right? And all these out-of-state roofing companies, because of the hailstorm, they're sending their troops in. Does that make sense? And they're running the neighborhood and they're trying to outbid other people's jobs so they can do them a little cheaper and then take their commission checks and run off. Sounds pretty shitty, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Bryce, can we role play what would happen if a roofer knocks on your door? Knock, 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 go. Hey, man.
Hello?
I already got, hey, appreciate you guys. Already got it squared away. Who did you use? Already got it squared away. We're good. Appreciate you guys. Have a blessed day. Yeah, but who did you use? How do you know we couldn't save you money? How do you know this? Listen, Bryce, and some of these guys are really good. I don't know who trained them, but they got little slick mouths. And some of the rumors around town is that they run their slick mouths and they think they can get homeowners like you to be unloyal to a roofing agreement that you made with somebody else. Isn't that silly?
Can you believe that?
Yeah. Can you believe that? Can you believe people would do that? So anyways, I just want to know that if somebody comes by, would you please just say, hey, we've already got that handled and close the door. Is that fair?
Sounds fair to me.
And then by the way, on the backside of this, I'm going to make you an agreement. The second that check comes in and you call me, I'm going to move you to the front of the line, get my crew moved in 911, get this handled so I can get this deal put to bed. And not only am I going to make sure that it's handled right, perfect, and immaculate, I'm going to come shake your hand when the job's done, just so I can look you eye to eye as a man with your family. And so you guys can say, hey, you know what? This is what I call quality work. Thank you so much. This is all we ever wanted. I want to know at the end, I get a handshake. So I know that I see you and I'm not going to disappear. I'm going to be right here. And plus you're going to have my cell phone. Also, Bryce, if you call me or text me, okay, if you call me or text me and I don't return the call within 24 hours at any point in time in my life, okay, call the insurance company because I'm dead. That's my commitment to you. Is that fair?
Sounds fair.
Guys, this is firming the deal up, Billy. This is firming the deal up. Listen, I'm going to explain something to you. My job is to make, number one, a connection with you in which no one else could ever connect with you. Number one. Number two, everybody, you've got to look like the authority. You got to sound like the authority. Guys, if you don't look and sound like the authority, I'm just going to tell you, someone else is going to come up and they're going to seem like they are, and they're going to say something like this. Hey, Bryce, what's going on? It's Andy. Hey, I'm here local in the neighborhood. Hey, what we've learned, and I'm gonna mess you up here. I'm gonna say what we've learned is a lot of insurance companies that are fly-by-night companies beat us to the area first because they're amateurs and they're not professionals, and they've given quotes. Bryce, tell me you haven't signed anything with a roofer yet, have you? Have you signed something?
Not yet.
Okay, well, even if you said you have, I'd say I need to see that. You don't know me yet. But I assure you, there's a lot of times once this roof's put on that you actually didn't get the quality premium roof you want because a lot of these people are putting cheaper roofs on home. Would you mind if I looked at it for a second? And if you do have what you need, I'll walk away and I don't need anything from you. But if there is something you need to know, at least I'll have the courtesy as a businessman to tell you. Is that fair? Can I review it with you? I'm going to get in your house.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get you, dude. And I'm going to get that a deal. Okay, you guys, listen to me. My number one part of this conversation was this. If someone doesn't give you the check the second they get it, it's because you didn't coach them properly. It's your fault. I need you guys to understand something. Handshakes, agreements, deals, the way that I tell them what's going to happen A to Z, writing it down, Eric. This is what's going to happen today. This is what's going to happen when your insurance companies comes out. This is what they're going to tell you. This is what other people who knock on your front door may say. Guys, the reason why I want to tell you it all is because I've been doing this for a long time and I've seen every trick. And you guys are great people. And by the way, you guys can't get tricked. Yeah, you guys can't get tricked. Other people may get tricked, but you guys are smart. So that's why we're going to make an agreement together, but I want to cover everything. By the way, do you have any questions? Bryce, when we're done, I'm going to say, do you have any questions? Is there any questions about anything that I've said that you want to ask? Because when I leave right now, other than coming back and meeting the adjuster, the second that the adjuster's done, I'm going to hammer them to get that check out to you. And when that check's done, I'm going to race over here, grab it, and push you guys to the front. Why would I say push to the front? Some of them are like, well, we're not pushing them to the front. You guys need to learn to sell. What does it matter? How do they know what place they're in? The first, 19th, or 1900? Doesn't matter. See, I'm going to push you to the front. You know what I've learned? From the day you give me the check, you usually are about 100 roofs away from getting your house done. What would it mean to you, Bryce, if I could slide you to the front? The old buddy deal. Would that be all right? Yeah?
Sounds
all right.
good.
Listen, hey, if you have another kid, you may name them after me. Come on, man. Guys, for those of you that aren't making $1 million a year, okay, the question is, could you be? That's your ass, you could be. Why aren't you? You know why you're not? Number one, you're lazy and you're not working hard enough. That could be one. Or number two, guys, you got leads everywhere. You guys got the best company in the world. You guys have the best company in the world. The question is, how do we increase results? How do we increase ROI? How do we increase revenue? Guys, I want to tell you something. A few years of doing the right thing, being really good at what you do could change your whole life. That's what I want for all of you. And by the way, I want to say one more thing, and then we'll go to price. The biggest transfer of wealth, you guys heard me say this last time, the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of time is happening right now. The professionals are ripping it away from the amateurs. And every one of you would agree, 99% of these roofing companies and roofers, they're amateurs. They're amateurs. They don't care. Guys, now's the time to be unbelievable. Now's the time to outcare everybody. Now's the time. I need you guys to be different. I need when you guys go to their door, I need you to be somebody they've never seen. I need you to talk like someone they've never heard from. I need when you speak to speak with conviction, confidence, certainty, and believability. All those things have to happen. And it has to happen from the handshake. Okay? So, do you guys think we would ink more deals and keep them if we could all do this? Yes or no? Everybody raise your hand if you feel like we could. Yeah? You guys feel good, Dean? You feel like that was good, valuable information? You can add some of that to the old skill set? If so, here we go. All right. So let's go to pricing for a minute. Is that cool? We're all right, Billy, with that?
Yeah. No, I love it. I just want to, before you segue, and I'm excited for the next part, guys. And,
Billy, drive in with something if I missed it. Drive in with me.
No, I think you're spot on. I think, I just want to add, the cards are stacked against us. I mean, you understand what the insurance companies are doing to wear you guys down. I think a lot of people understand, oh, you're going to deal with this or that. But it's all coordinated. The insurance companies, if they could take, I mean, let's look at Tripp Senior for example. I mean, the guy has been working his butt off. He's caught fire as of late here, the last 4 to 6 weeks. They know that, and they anything they can do to slow him down. So it's a coordinated attack to get in your mind. So, when it comes to work ethic, one thing I want you to add before you go into price, Andy, you work with the best organizations, the best sales guys. I mean, I watch it. How much, one thing I've been trying to drill at home, you already said it, everybody's got a coach. I mean, Tiger Woods, I went to the Masters, seeing his practice routine. How would you do it if you were in this game? How much time are you spending on a daily, weekly basis practicing your pitch, practicing your body language, and how do they implement that into their game? Well,
so number one, guys, I want to say something. And you know what I love about, and I was talking about like Patrick Bet-David a minute ago, is that, and I'll go into your deal about like Tiger Woods and coaching and all that, is Billy. One time I was talking to Patrick Bet-David, and there was a group of people in the room. You know what he said? He goes, this conversation's not for everybody. It's only for those that want to be the best. And, I was sitting there and I was noticing that there were a lot of people, right, that really didn't want to be the best, and they were just kind of blowing off his information. And you know what I did? I ran with it. So I want to tell you that, number one, as I talk to you right now on this coaching call, I'm only talking to those that want to be the best. I am ultimately talking to the whole company, but unfortunately, Billy, it's almost been impossible at any point in time to have an entire company in which all wants to be the best at once. So for those of you that do want to be the best, thank you for listening. Thank you for pushing yourself, and thank you for growing. And I hope that, did everybody at least learn one thing that they could add that would be a little bit better? That's worth it. And Billy, that's training. So I want to tell you what I do. And I want everybody to think about this for a minute. What are the top 3, 4 common objections that you get in your industry? Those objections, you should be able to speak through them very confidently, very comfortable. Like, guys, listen to me. When somebody says, hey, I saw one half off, I saw one that was 20,000 cheaper. Like, guys, there should be no ums. There should be no there should be no stuttering. There should be no pause. There should be no eye contact looking away. There should be like, man, I totally understand. Matter of fact, I know exactly why they came up with that price. I know how they did it. You know what I mean? I just know that if I'd given you a price like that, you probably wouldn't have been happy, because the work that would have been done and the roof you'd have got, you've been upset with. And then I would have been not doing you in your family service. Okay. I can put cheap roofs on a home. Do you want a cheap roof on your house? No. See, that's why I don't talk about cheap roofs. See, what I'll know, Billy, is this, is that whatever objections everybody has, and some of you, I said, Dean, haven't you ever had this happen? And Dean says, man, honestly, I've been pretty lucky. I haven't had a lot of that happen. Well, Dean, it will happen eventually. So your goal is to keep getting better. But also, Dean may
Can we
have.
call Dean out on a deal real quick? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. Let's do it. Let's call him out. I love it.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I can
I'm
only
just
say.
No. But you know what I want is that maybe Bryce has another problem and maybe Dean has a different problem. And then maybe David has a different problem than Craig, right? Like, guys, we're all different, right? I want to tell you guys something. I literally talk to people for a living. And as I talk to them, what I do is that I look at their eyes when they're talking to me. I listen to how they talk and I listen to what they're saying if what they're saying logically makes sense and makes me want to move forward with them. John, I listen to their tonality. Guys, is tonality important? You bet your ass it is. Okay. What about belief? Like, how much do you guys believe in yourself and your company and that you're the one that needs to be doing the work? Well, however you believe, that's how they're going to believe. Have you guys ever heard persuasion? The definition of it is the transfer of emotion, to take the way you feel and push it into someone else. Have you guys ever heard that?
I've been drilling that one in their heads from your training.
Good. I just want to say, guys, my number one selling skill that I have is that whenever, and I sell passion, just so anybody's aware, and I'm sure you can tell when I talk or if you watch me anywhere, Craig, I'm ultimately super passionate. And the reason why is because it's given me an edge. Craig, if there's another salesman or another rep that's just as skilled as me with the same roofing company, the same roofing options, that does just as good a job as me. And by the way, the guy's very educated like me. The one thing that I can do, actually two things. Number one, I can out-care him. I can out-care him when I'm talking to the client. I can make the client know that, listen, guys, ultimately, all I care about is putting your family first. Now, Craig, is it powerful when I say that to you? Craig, I just want to be straight up with you. The only thing that I care about is putting your family first. Is that fair, Craig? Is that the kind of person you're looking to do business with? Yes or no? Yes. Get them. Drive it home. Remember, people won't always remember what you said, but they'll always remember the way you made them feel. They'll always remember the way you made them feel. If you don't make them feel a certain way, what do you think's going to happen when that next guy goes, knock, 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 got a better deal? Or what do you think happens when that insurance rep goes, oh, I probably shot for a cheaper quote? Nope. I'm not even going to think about it because I remember the way that I felt when I was with Craig. Okay. Or what happens when I get the check? You guys think these people have ever had $100,000 check in their hand, most of them at one time? No. David, he's like, oh, dude, this got my name on it. This is my check. This is mine. You know what I want? I want Craig, when he's in that home, to understand that he's selling so strong that when they have that roofing check for 100, 200, 300 grand, or even 50, whatever it is in their hand, that check goes to Craig, because Craig has a responsibility and an obligation to him. And they've made an agreement and they've made a deal on what happens next. And this next step, because I explained what was supposed to happen, is that he wasn't even to open the check. Say, dude, don't even open it. Just call me. I need to get you pushed to the front of the line immediately. And Craig, so you use this passion so that they don't forget the way that they felt in your presence. And that way it's so strong that whenever they do get the check, they can still feel the presence from you. Now, I want to say something. I don't know what y'all's delivery, my bad. I don't know what your follow-up system looks like, but I know a lot of people go out, they do the work, they ink the deal, they meet the adjuster, the insurance person, and then they just wait on the check. Dude, listen to me. I'm going to be honest with you. Do you guys know reciprocity? Craig, you know what reciprocity is, right? Reciprocity is the strongest selling tool in the world. Reciprocity is to do something for somebody so that they have to do something for you. Does that make sense? Hey, Craig, hey, how would this be if literally I inked the deal with you, I met your insurance adjuster, and then literally 3 days later, I stopped by your house, literally, and I had an engraved ink pen with your name, your wife, and your kids, and some coloring books for your kids, and I literally had some chocolates. No, listen to me. Some of you are like, what? No, I show up and I say, hey, Craig, I was in the neighborhood and then I was thinking about your family. I said, you know what? I was talking to my wife. I got an amazing wife. She's so good to me. And then I was thinking about how cool your wife was. And I said, you know what? It's very rare that I get to meet such a great family like yours, Craig. I said, you know what? I'm going to go out of my way today. I stopped by the store, picked up some stuff for you and the kids. They look amazing in the pictures. I haven't met them. I hope to when the roof is finished. But I just wanted to bring this by and just reach my hand out again and say thank you. And it's an honor to serve you, Craig. It's my honor. Thank you, sir. Have a blessed day. Craig, you still have my cell phone? It's saved in your phone? Okay. Guys, can we do this? Yes or no? Billy, can we do this?
Absolutely.
How many deals would fall off if you guys did this? None. I dare, once I go give you coloring books, an engraved pen, and chocolates, I dare you to think about giving that check to someone else. You guys get it? Okay. By the way, go
I'll
ahead.
segue for you there, Andy. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So guys, you know, the first objection, which we're going to have these scripts and these go-tos, and hopefully you listen to them and there's only a few right now. The first one we're working on, I've written a little script based on Andy's template. So I'm going to have him dive into, you know, you guys are, you know, retail roofing or if the home, you know, it ties into insurance a little bit, right? If they got the check, you didn't do all these things we're trying to get you to do, and then they end up getting the check and just asking you for a bid. Well, then it essentially turns into a roof, you know, our price being too high. So he's going to dive into, and I can assure you the way that he trains in the car business, it's a lot harder to overcome when they can literally get the same car down the road. And these guys are overcoming these objections by thousands and thousands of dollars by using this rebuttal. So he's going to dive in. The first one we're going to work on in this, and we're going to dive through all of them and have scripts for you.
Okay, Billy, so you hit me and let's go. Me and you role play.
Yeah, no, Andy, I mean, I got your quote. I like you. I like your company. I've seen your work in the neighborhood. I got a couple other bids and you guys are, your price is just way too high.
Yeah, number one, hey, Billy, by the way, I totally understand. And I want to tell you a little bit about my background. I think this is my fault. I didn't explain everything that I did in the beginning. What I learned when I got into roofing is that everything isn't the same. Wouldn't you agree? Every company's different. Every material is different. Everything is done differently. Of course, because we're all different people. What I learned before I got into the roofing business, I was actually in the window industry. And I used to sell windows because windows are really important. They bring a lot of value to somebody's home. Do you know when somebody's going to buy a house, you know, they actually go through and they look at how quality the windows in. Would you agree, Billy? They look at the quality of windows. If the windows are crap, people want to pay less money for a home. Am I right? If the windows are quality, people want to pay all the money because they have quality windows. Well, you know what I learned is that there were people that would do window bids less than our company. And I didn't understand it until about 2 years in the business. I wouldn't fight to keep these people spending more money for a more quality window and to go with the better company. I wouldn't fight. I would just say, well, it sounds like it's cheaper. Use them. And you know what I found? After 2 years, I had all these people coming back to me when their insurance wasn't involved down the road because their windows were crap and they were leaking, they were falling apart, and there were issues. And you know what I learned? Is that you want to buy something that has value for the price. If you can get a lot of value with me right now and the price is higher, is that fair? Yeah, because when the value is equal to the price or higher than the price, then that's fair. But if you save money and the windows or the roof, whatever's being installed, ends up causing you problems or 2 or 3 years from now, was any of the money even worth it? And did you really even save anything? Billy, I want you to do me a favor. What is the cost of a headache on your roof if there's a problem that goes on 2 or 3 years from now? What is that going to be like? It's a headache. It's a pain. And by the way, the roofing companies that you do business with today, I'm going to ask you, do you know any of them? No, you don't know any of them. They're not your best friend. They're not your father-in-law. You know what they are? They're a company. So you know what we know? Everybody stands for different core values in their company. Billy, I don't know about you. I have a certain set of morals and standards that I live on. And I chose the roofing company that I'm going to do business with, that I do business with today, because we've never had a problem. Anytime there's an issue, we've showed up 911. So the cost of ownership, no matter what it is that you pay for this roof, you should get 20, 10, 20, 30 years out of this roof. Okay. And that's why you're going to deal with a professional that's going to ensure that you do get that. Now, Billy, right now, if you pull the trigger and you go with something cheaper, Billy, I don't like cheap stuff. Do you? No. And by the way, Billy, what's it worth to have a relationship with the person who's actually installing the roof? What's that worth? Everything. Billy, I can't speak for these other roofing companies. I can't speak for them, but I can speak for me and my company. And I'm going to tell you something. I've got a wife and I've got 3 kids, just like you've got. You've got a family as well. And I'm going to assure you, as much headache and stress and time that it takes to make this happen, you want to ensure that it lasts forever. You know what I know? I know, Billy, we're in a world right now, and I don't need to tell you about society, but we're in a society where people tell you they're going to do something and they don't do it. And the people that usually are doing that are the cheapest. Okay? Billy, the quality of the parts determine the amount of the job. Does that make sense? The quality of the people doing the job. Okay? Do you know, Billy, in our company, we pay twice as much in labor rates as most companies because the people that do the work on these roofs, they're certified roof installers. They're certified. When they can go through a 9-week program, whatever that is that you guys have your people go to. You know, we don't go down to the local yard and just try to hire some people for $10 an hour who need work to come slap some freaking tiles on your roof, okay, or shingles. Billy, do you know the people that are going to be installing any of these roofs on your house? Nope. But you know what I do? I know them. And you know what? Whoever's selling you a job, whoever told you it was going to be cheaper, did you know 99.9% of those people don't know the people that are even going to be installing that shingle? Do you know that, Billy? You know what I want you to do? Call them right now and say, can you give me the names of the people that are going to be installing my roof? They'll say, I don't know that. Well, then how can you insure it? How is it quality? You don't even know. They're selling something they don't even know. You know what I know? Robbie, Bobby, Jacob, all those guys. Yeah, you know what? I know who they are and I know what they're going to do because I've seen their work and I watch them do great work every day. So listen to me. I can't speak for other people. If you're looking for something cheap and you want to do it twice, listen to me. You want to do it twice. You know, my wife one time, and I always go to third party. Me and her went through a very bad experience on a bathroom remodel. And I'm going to share it with you, Billy, right now. Because the decision you're about to make with me or with someone else is the same decision me and my wife made. We had a bathroom remodel for $30,000 with the guy that I know that would have done an amazing job on a bathroom remodel. And you know what? My wife had a friend that was running her mouth telling us that she knew a guy that did one cheaper. And you know what happened? Next thing, we're talking to him and he's like, I'll do the same thing and I'll charge you 20 grand. We're like, damn, we'll just do that. Do you know what kind of mess our house was? Do you know he tore up our house? Do you understand when they put a roof on your house? Do you understand they can tear up all kinds of crap? Do you understand that they can literally ruin your house because they're replacing the roof on it, which is what protects your entire home? Did you know that? Well, guess what? Also, they can do unquality work, which a lot of people do. I know it may sound surprising, but it's not. We see it in the world everywhere, but where people really don't care anymore about what they do. Would you agree, Billy? Most people don't care anymore and take pride in what they do. They do what they're paid for and they move on. Billy, I take this personal. Billy, when I'm talking to you right now, I'm not talking to you with my mouth. I'm talking to you with my heart. Billy, do you want somebody that when they go to put the roof on your house is taking it personal or just slapping another roof on your house? Well, you can go pay cheap and they'll slap another roof on. I'm going to take it personal and make sure it's done right. You know what I did, Billy? I went with the cheaper bid on this bathroom remodel with me and my wife. And you know what ended up happening? Within 3 years, I paid the guy 30 grand to come back and redo it again. I'm going to tell you, you work hard for your money in your life. The greatest asset in your life that most people own is their home. You have an opportunity right now to increase the property value on your home with the brand new roof. We need to make sure it's done right. It is a very big job. It is a very important job, and it shouldn't be left to somebody who's going to do it for cheap or somebody that's an amateur. Billy, let me as the professional handle this. Can you do that, Billy? And I assure you, you'll be problem-free and there'll never be an issue. But listen, if I'm not involved, Billy, the guy that plays with his heart, the guy that gives you his word, the guy that knows the team that's going to be installing it, and the guy that wants to serve you and your family, when you cross the line and you pay someone else to do it, all this goes out the window. So I can't speak for anybody else, but I promise you, you won the lottery by me taking care of your roof installment. That's it. Billy, I'm telling you right now, no matter what they say, it's very, very simple. We are different. People don't like cheap stuff. So why are we talking about cheap stuff? You want to do it twice or do it once? If the insurance company's involved, you want to do it right while the insurance company's involved, and then go back and have to do it on your own dime later because you did it cheap? Or you want to do it right today and ensure that you don't ever have to worry about paying any money out of your pocket again later? I can tell you what your future looks like by the decisions you make today. I'd write that down. Mr. or Mrs. Customer, I can tell you exactly what your future looks like based on the decisions you make today. That's what I can do. And if I could tell you that for the next 10, 20, 30 years, you wouldn't have any problems. I don't know how old you are, Billy, but if you're 40, that means you'd be all right till you're 70. I think you'd be pretty freaking happy, isn't it? And hey, everybody write this down. Would the juice be worth the squeeze? I'm going to use a close. I say, hey, Billy, would the juice be worth the squeeze to buckle down and spend a little more money to get a quality job to not have any headaches in the future? Yes or no? Would the juice be worth the squeeze to buckle down? I tell them, buckle down. Would the juice be worth the squeeze? Spend a little more money, buckle down to get the job you know that you need to have done so that you don't have any headaches in the future. Would that be worth the squeeze? Yes or no? And by the way, the fact that the insurance company's involved, listen to me. I tell people, you want to go to Nightmare Land? Billy, you know what Nightmare Land is? A bad roofing job. That's a Nightmare Land. And listen, Billy, once they install it, they're not going to uninstall it. So if they do it wrong, it's on you. You have the liability. When you sign that piece of paper and you give those amateurs, okay, you give those amateurs the right to start laying down the everything that they do on the roof to build your roof, dude, when they're done, they're going to walk away. They're going to walk away, Billy. Billy, who's left with your home? You. And Billy, can I say something? This isn't buying a car. This is the most expensive asset in your life. This is your home. Billy, would you put cheap tires on your car or quality tires on your car because your kids are going to be riding them? Quality, right? You'd be an idiot to put cheap tires on your car. Billy, the shoes to the car are the tires, and the foundation to property value and protecting a home is the roof. This is not a small decision, Billy. This is a big decision, and it needs to be done with people that keep big promises. Billy, that's me. That's me, Billy. I'm going to push through. I'm going to get that check. You're not going anywhere else. You're going to spend your money with me. That is it. And guys, guess what? Whoever believes the most gets the deal. That's the deal.
Who's fired up? Who's fired up listening to that right now? Just honestly, you look at Andy's passion and obviously that conviction, that energy. And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. But what I'm thinking sitting here, being in a lot of these situations he's talking about, but you guys can get there. I want everybody to know that. I truly believe that. And Andy, I want you to segue, obviously the practice and, you hearing you working with Patrick Bet David, a guy on your level, investing in coaches. So I'm very fond of Patrick Bet David, as well. But these, everybody out here on this call, I just want you to know, like, that's what we're doing. I'm trying to invest in, for me, David, to help you guys just hit your goals. Right. But Andy, the skill work and the passion and the word tracks and like you said, the transfer of emotion that you have, but talk about, we'll end it with this, let's take all that out. Cause obviously what you're doing, but the fundamentals of that presentation you're at, because I can tell you, and it goes down to what you said earlier, laziness. These guys, how can they, they're sitting here seeing how skilled you are, and hopefully they see they can get there. But take out that. What can they do? Just get into the front door. Because I promise you, they're taking an estimate and they're getting emailed back, oh, your price was too high. And then that's it. That's the world we live in right now. So let's talk about you presenting those numbers and giving yourself a chance to transfer this emotion that you have. Because I don't even believe they're giving themselves the fighting chance, such as cutting the corner of just emailing it over to them, not being in a seated position at the dining room table. And then talk about the fundamental rule of sales. Buyers are liars. They're not even giving themselves the chance to have the opportunity to show what they truly believe in, which is just a fundamental error. So talk about that and just end it with that.
Well, so for 20 more seconds, where are we at now? We're on the presentation.
Yeah. So you doing that, like you're ready to go take your bid. You're going to go there, sit down at the dinner table, talk about the fundamentals of it. Cause a lot of these guys just think, oh, I just emailed them the bid. And I take that as they just didn't want the business more, Okay. So that passion.
So what are some key words that I would say?
Just fundamentals of where you're presenting your numbers. Are you going to sit down?
Oh, yeah. No, so listen to me, guys. In a seated position is where closing's done. Okay. Number one, never talk standing up ever. So 2, go to a table, go somewhere. Number 3, move your chair around, get knee to knee. Write this down, knee to knee. Okay. I'm not going to sit across from you. I'm not asking you if you want to do something and it's me against you. I'm going to get knee to knee. See, I'm going to turn and I'm going to be able to put my arm around you, or I'm going to put my arm next to you and I'm going to be able to talk to you. So listen, knee to knee, get next to them, be able to get an arm's length of grabbing them. Okay. And then, by the way, I'm going to explain to you why I do this. Hey, Billy, what's going on? Hey, it's Andy. I'm going to go over some stuff with you here real quick. So it's really important in case you have any questions that I can go over with you. I'm going to slide next to you. So if you have some questions, you can ask me. Is that okay? I just want to explain it properly. Is that cool? Boom.
Yes.
I'm going to get next to you just like that. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, guys, and this is me. So that's the position that I'm going to get in, Billy. And then I'm going to start out with what I'm going to do. Billy, before I go into the numbers and everything, I'm going to do a couple things. Number one, I'm going to ensure that you get a 5-star roof. That's number one. I'm going to ensure that you do. Is that important to you? Yes or no, Billy?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2, Billy, we pay expensive money for software that dictates the price to make sure the job's done right. And your house can maximize its property value in the area. And it can be taken care of to its fullest. So there's no shortcuts. So Billy, whatever the pricing comes up with on this software, I don't set the price. The price sets the software sets the price. It's out of my hands, but I'll ensure that you get the roof that's perfect for you and your family, which is a 5-star roof. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Billy, regulations have changed in the insurance industry. Okay. I'm up to where with the laws, the regulations, and the things that need to be done. So there's no shortcuts. I know about nightmare stories where amateur roofing companies are going through putting roofs on houses, and literally later on they're trying to sell them and their house doesn't pass inspection because the roof was put on wrong and they've got to put a new roof on to sell it. Billy, you don't want to play around with this roof game. I'd recommend choosing one person to do it, and that's me, and I'll take care of it's done right. So you're always good today and in the future. Is that fair?
Amen.
All right, Billy, the insurance company, they want you to chase the cheapest roofing company. No. You're not going to fall for that trick, are you, Billy?
Nope.
Okay, we're not taking our car to the chop shop to get it fixed. We're taking it to the Land Rover store. Okay, that's me. All right, also, I'm going to ensure, Billy, write this down. I'm going to ensure that the insurance company fixes and replaces what they're supposed to. That's me. I got your back. I'm your bodyguard, Billy. I'm going to ensure that the insurance company does what they're supposed to do. You've been a great client. You've paid the premium every month. Now I'm going to make sure that they do what they're supposed to. I'm going to hold them accountable. You don't have to worry about nothing, Billy. That's what you get when you do business with me. Billy, is that important to you? Yes. And I need one last thing, Billy. I need you to reach your hand out right now. And I need you to ensure that if I can take care of all this, and this is the only deductible that you have to pay, that I get the work and that you'll allow me to honor your family and serve you. Can we do that? Come on, man. Guys, listen. Billy, is that what you mean?
Yes, sir.
Hey, everybody, listen. I want you to do me a favor. I'm going to send this recording to Billy when I'm done. I want you to watch it later tonight. Watch it tomorrow. Do me a favor. There was lots of gold nuggets in here. I want you to study it. I want you to pull it out. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you guys to grow. And I want you to know this. Look, I love you guys. You're amazing. Every time we're together, my goal is to have one idea. If there's 20, that's great. But one idea that can allow you guys to increase your income by another 100 or 200 grand a year. It could be $1 million a year.
I want to add something in here that Billy asked early on. He asked Andy specifically, hey, as far as training goes, how often do you train? What does that look like for everybody? I personally am a product of Andy's training. And one thing that we implement here is that we train every single day.
Every
Whether
day.
you pick the morning, whether you pick the evening. Andy didn't come from the roofing industry. He came from the automotive industry. So understand that he's put in the time and the energy that it takes to understand your industry, to take his skill and be able to implement it for each and every single one of you guys. So put in the work on the back end of putting that time and energy in every single day, because that's what it's going to take if you want to be the top 1% inside of this industry.
And that's our goal. I talk to you guys like you want to be the top 1% in the world earners. That's how I talk to you. So anyways, love you guys. I know we're all a little different. Increase your passion, outcarry your competition, be firm up the deal. Make sure they don't ever want to think about anybody else. People don't always remember what you said, but they always remember the way you made them feel. That's it. Love you
Amen.
guys. Hey, I'll send you this video. You guys study it.
I appreciate everybody for being on the call. Andy, thank you so much. I'm damn sure going to watch. Make sure she emails me the recording so I can post it to our channel.
Done. Coming to you right now. Love you guys. Have a blessed day.
All right,
See you
buddy.
guys.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.